lot of people who listen on the stream.
All right, not a problem.
It's not going yet?
Not on D-Live.
Yeah, I see D-Live. I'm going to have to toggle it. Hang on, Ronald.
Ramel. No
Ramel.
problem,
Sorry, man.
no problem. What's your first name, too?
James.
James Hake. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
YouTube seems okay.
Yeah, I see the other platforms are going. Just toggling D-Live to see if it can connect. Hang tight, guys. Bear with me. It seemed like it was having problems for a sec there. Appreciate your patience. Man, it actually went down twice in the past, minute. Okay, we're going. All right, so continue. Ramel, I think is how you pronounce it, right?
Yes, that's correct. All right, so I was asking about the interlude that you did earlier on the Jesse Lee Peterson show when you were talking about the 11-year-old who was pepper sprayed, she was handcuffed and tased, to my knowledge. I was wondering what.
I thought she was 9.
Oh, she was 9 years old. I don't know.
Were you already familiar with the story when I mentioned it?
Well, I was asking what part specifically was funny to you because you were laughing as you were reporting about the 9-year-old who was pepper sprayed by police.
The whole situation was funny to me. It's so ridiculous because this 9-year-old girl. Have you ever heard of a 9-year-old girl being mentally ill and being threatening to self-harm and hurt others? And she runs from the cops and has to get chased down, and she's refusing to cooperate. She wouldn't put her feet in the police car. And so one of the officers sprayed her with the irritant. He warned her that she was going to spray her if she refused to cooperate. I don't think that she was tased. At least I didn't read that.
Okay, are you familiar with safety crisis management or lawful physical restraints on minors or physical interventions? Because it sounds to me like they were definitely using excessive force on a 9-year-old. And as long as you keep everybody in the vicinity safe from the person who's actually trying to harm other people, especially a minor, you would like to prevent that person from also incurring any injuries. So I think it was excessive, and I don't think it was funny at all. So I'm wondering what your background is to comment and think that something was funny when a 9-year-old who has mental health issues, clearly has mental health issues, is acting out aggressively towards other kids and endangering other people and as well as themselves. And when confronted with an officer, doesn't even understand, doesn't even have the mental capacity to actually respond in the appropriate way. Obviously, she has some mental health issues. Why would you think that any part of that is funny, the way that the officers, the adult trained officer, responded and intervened with force? You don't think that there was anything else that they could have done to intervene and maintain the safety of the people who are in the immediate vicinity?
I don't know, and I don't honestly care.
Okay.
I think that. What do you think about her parents?
I think her parents weren't there, and I think we don't know enough background on the parents. And if the parents were there, they probably would have tried to intervene without pepper spraying the child. And they probably would have tried to maintain the safety of everybody else because they're probably familiar.
Who do you think called the cops? Who do you think called the cops on this girl?
Whoever called the cops on her, I'm sure they did not intend for the intervention strategy to be pepper spray. I'm sure of that. They probably called.
Do you think it's their business to decide how to handle an out-of-control 9-year-old girl? Whoever heard of a 9-year-old girl? You're kind of glossing over the fact that this 9-year-old girl is this out of control. What does that say about the community over there, the people over there?
It says that there's a child on a case-by-case basis.
You sound, Ramel. I'm sorry to interrupt. I got to interrupt.
There's a child who... No, you asked me a question.
Go for it.
I'm trying to answer. You said, what does that say about the community and the parents? So what that says is this child is clearly out of control. And the intervention strategy that was
I didn't ask you about the child. I asked you about the community, the people, the parents.
Well, the parents, obviously, I don't know what any of the backstory on the parents.
But you seem to be quick to judge the cops. But you have nothing to say about the parents.
during this incident, the cops were the ones who were the adults who intervened.
Right,
I don't know what happened.
But the child is a reflection. The child is not. The child's out of control behavior is not a reflection of what how the cops are treating her. The child's out of control behavior is a reflection of how she was raised.
Are you sure of that? Because she could have mental health issues, and it seems like maybe there are some mental health issues that are underlying that we aren't aware of, and maybe she hasn't been diagnosed at 9 years old yet. Maybe
you sound like you believe in. You sound
maybe
Ramel.
This incident will have her diagnosed, bro. Maybe
that's not going to do any good, man. Listen, you have a false belief. Hold on, man. You have a false belief in experts and how to. No, listen. You asked me if I have any. Hold on, man. Hold on, Ramel. You asked me if I have any background in this conflict theory and diffusing situations, and then you ask me, and then you're making a. Hold on, man. And then you're asking me. Hold on, Ramel. Hold on. And then you're asking. Hold on, Ramel. Calm down. And then you're talking about this child with mental health issues. You sound like you don't even believe in reality. You believe in this fake expert stuff.
You don't believe in mental health issues?
Right. That's a false. That's a false thing.
Okay. So a 9-year-old cannot actually have mental health issues. So
that's not the root issue. That's not the root issue.
Are you sure of that?
Of course.
All right,
mental health issues. Ramel.
Do you know anything about this child?
Ramel. Mental health issues. Hold on. Mental health issues come from something deeper.
Okay.
Yeah. So this fake thing about I don't have any background in how to handle an out of control child doesn't mean anything. I have common sense, and common sense says this is a ridiculous situation and it's laughable. It's so evil.
I'm asking you, but I'm not asking you about your background in mental health.
You did. You asked me about how to handle them.
I asked you several questions, but that may have been one of them. But I'm also asking you, do you know anything about the child?
I don't have to. I know how, based on how she was described to have acted.
Okay.
And it's laughable.
So therefore, you're saying that you actually condone the level of intervention that was applied by the officers.
I neither condemn it nor condone it. I neither can.
No, you laugh at it.
I laugh at it because it's a laughable situation.
All right, so look, let me ask you this.
How come you're acting like a woman and getting all, you can't laugh at this or that?
No, you can laugh. It got my attention. That was your.
I know, but you're acting like you're jumping to conclusions. You're jumping to false conclusions about what I'm thinking. You're acting like I condone it.
No, people who ask questions don't jump to conclusions.
You did jump to conclusions.
No, I asked you questions.
No, you jumped to conclusions.
I'm asking for your conclusion. I'm asking for your reasoning for why it was funny to you.
But laughing is not condoning, nor is it condemning.
It seems like it. That's why I was asking.
That does not seem like it. That's your imagination. I wanted you
to clarify.
Laughing does not seem.
So you clarify it, Hake.
Laughing. Hold on, man. Hold on.
When I laugh at things, it's usually because I could care less about it.
Right.
Or it's something that I think is ironic or interesting. So I was asking you to elaborate on why you laugh.
Yep.
So I didn't jump to any conclusions. But
you put words in my mouth. You said, so you condone it.
I asked.
By laughing, you said by laughing, it makes you seem like you condone it.
You said I asked a question. Are you?
I know, but you said it makes it seem. Why would laughing make it seem like I condone it?
You're acting like a woman. You're putting words in my mouth. Hey.
No, hold on, Ramel.
You even reiterated exactly what I said. I said, are you laughing because of or condoning? I asked a question, bro.
I know, and then you said, hold on, Ramel.
That was your opportunity to clear it up.
You said, laughing makes it seem like you condone it.
Right. So I didn't assign anything to you. I was further.
Why does it make it seem? Why does it make it seem like I condone it that I laughed?
Answer my question. I asked you a question. It can seem like a thousand different things to 1,000 different people. I asked the question to get clarity on why you laughed at it. And
why did it make it seem like I condoned it?
It doesn't matter why. How I perceived it is irrelevant. That's why I'm asking you the question. If all that matters,
that's fair. But why did it make it seem like I condoned it?
If all that mattered, again, was how I
The reason I'm asking,
it,
Ramel,
then I wouldn't ask you any questions. I wouldn't ask you on air.
I appreciate that.
to
That's fine.
why.
That's nice.
Okay.
That's great.
So go ahead, bro.
You seem like you're trying to be fair-minded, but you're
No, I'm definitely
but
fair-minded.
you're a brainwashed intellectual.
You're assigning statements to me that are actually being read back verbatim, but you're trying to make it as though I'm assigning something to you. And I did.
But for some reason, either you don't know why you assumed, or why it seemed like
I did not assume.
When you say it seems like you condone it, that's like an assumption. That's Satan talking in your head, and you don't want to address why.
And I told you what it seemed like to me, which is why I asked you the question.
Okay, so why in your mind did it make it seem like it though? You never answered that.
Because when somebody laughs at something, generally they're making light of it or they find humor in it.
Yes.
So if that's
not condoning.
Right. I'm asking you if you were condoning it. So, because I don't want to assign.
Yeah, I know. I got that already.
Okay, so answer. Are you condoning it or not?
I said I'm neither condoning nor condemning it.
So you have no thoughts on it, but you think it's funny. Got it.
I have thoughts on it. I do think it's funny. It's ridiculous.
So give us your thoughts on how they should have intervened appropriately.
I have no idea. I wasn't there.
Okay, it was a 9-year-old.
And
these are adults who have training.
9-year-olds have killed people.
Restraints. They have, but does she have a weapon?
I don't know.
She was 9 years. Okay, you don't know. So
I don't know, and I don't care. And you're jumping to conclusions about them.
No, I don't know.
And you're giving them you're giving the community. You're giving the community an excuse of mental illness.
I might laugh too, but I don't know if she had a weapon. I don't know anything about the surroundings and who called. I don't know if the police already had her in a physical restraint and she was resisting.
Why do you have to police white people's laughter at ridiculous situations with blacks involved and cops?
Hey, bro, guess what? I didn't even mention her race.
I know.
I said a 9-year-old. A 9-year-old.
But why are you trying to police my laughter?
I'm not. I asked you to tell me because you have a responsibility to expound on your statements live on air. And I asked you, you have a duty to your listeners to explain what the hell you're talking about when you're laughing at a 9-year-old being excessively
I don't have to explain laughter. Adults. It's ridiculous.
Okay, well, you laughed at something, and, and that was your response to it. And I wanted to know
why are you sensitive about this whole situation?
It was funny. I'm sensitive about a 9-year-old being pepper sprayed, and if it's possible that they could have been restrained with some other restraint and some other intervention could have been done to not only keep the child safe, but the other children safe, because pepper spray has a tendency to travel. And I don't think that is appropriate.
I don't know how many kids were around
to be pepper sprayed. You don't know anything.
You don't know anything either. You're just assuming that the cops did wrong. You have no clue.
No, I'm not assuming that they did wrong. No, I'm not, actually. I'm saying that they use pepper spray, and that's what I do know. And I know that they could have done a 1,000 different restraints before they used pepper spray. So
and you don't know what all those they did. You're assuming they did wrong.
First of all, is more than one adult police officer restraining or attempting to restrain.
You're being ridiculous.
Ramel. A 9-year-old. You're being ridiculous because the training would say that I shouldn't have to use my pepper spray.
You're falling for this fake black victimhood.
Yeah, nobody's talking about black but you, bro.
I'm bringing it up because you're black, and I know you know that you're into the blackness.
9-year-old.
You're crying about a 9-year-old when you have no clue about the situation.
You said black.
Did you watch the video?
I never said black. Nobody ever cared about whether the child was black.
Of course they did. It was a Black Lives Matter riot. If this kid was white, you would not even heard about it.
I could care less. I'm talking to you.
So you claim. I don't believe you.
To me, you don't have to believe me, bro. You're acting like a woman now, not believing me when I'm
you're
calling
just repeating,
you like a man.
You're repeating what I said. You're repeating what I said about you.
Attributes to you. The same attributes that you claim that I have, you have. You're so liberal, just like the Capitol rioters. They're just like BLM. BLM is nothing but white people controlled by the same elites that control the minds and the actions and orchestrate the whole damn Capitol riot.
Okay, liberal.
You people don't understand.
You're saying
anything.
exactly what they're telling you to say.
You Black Lives Matter people are white people.
No, they're not.
I do not support Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is a white organization. And
Okay,
the
buddy.
Capitol rioters
All right.
are the same damn people doing the same liberal snowflake BS. And I don't condone any of it if it's black or white.
How old are you?
So you're acting like a woman.
How old are you?
You can't even explain why you laughed at something.
I did explain. It's ridiculous.
No, you said you
How
don't
old are you?
condone it or condemn it, so you didn't say anything but a bunch of word salad.
How old
That's
are you?
all you gave us. I'm old enough to recognize somebody who just wants to continue a narrative.
Okay. Anyway, Ramel, interesting. We'll talk again.
9-year-old being tased. 9-year-old, not black,
I don't know
not
that
white,
she was
9
tased.
years old. Black Lives Matter, white people. I don't support Black Lives Matter tearing up the
You sound
black
like one.
community. You got to be out your goddamn mind. Listen clearly.
Keep it clean,
Black
Ramel.
Lives Matter. The one thing that the Capitol rioters did that I can appreciate is that they didn't burn down the damn black community, so they got one up on the Black Lives Matter, if you ask me. Black Lives Matter destroyed the black community, bro. I don't support that BS. You got the
Keep it
wrong
clean.
one here. You don't know what you're talking about. You're the one that's talking about race, not me. I could care less about race.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and you're the only one that's talking about race.
I brought it up because I have a sneaking
You brought it
suspicion.
up. Say it again.
I
Say
have
it
a
again,
sneaking
brother.
suspicion that you're more into all this mess.
suspicion, more like
Why
a
did you
woman.
Why did you have to say Black Lives Matter as white people if you don't care?
It matters.
It's
It
yeah.
matters.
Okay.
It
All
matters.
right.
White lives matter. White dollars matter.
All
White
right.
people are controlling Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter has destroyed the black community. That sounds like the damn KKK reinvented to me.
I appreciate your passion, Ramel.
Yeah,
We'll talk
but
again.
I sound like I support the Black Lives Matter when I'm saying vehemently that I do not support neither Black Lives Matter or the Capitol rioters.
All right.
Because all of you are out of control. You're all acting like liberals.
I'm not a Capitol rioter, buddy.
Whoever condones either Black Lives Matter or the Capitol rioters.
There were plenty of.
liberals.
It was 99% peaceful protests.
You probably none of it was peaceful. You gotta be kidding
None
me.
of
If I'm having
the
if I'm
Capitol
having a
protest
picnic-
was peaceful, Ramel.
Listen, man, if I'm having a picnic
Did you vote for
during
President
the goddamn
Trump?
riot, if I'm having a picnic during the riot and people get shot out here, well, I'm an accomplice.
Did
too,
you
and I'm
vote for
holding a
Trump?
sandwich. No, in the media.
You
but
voted
I
for
could care
Trump?
less about the media, bro.
You voted for Trump?
I support a lot of Trump's. I did actually.
Okay.
I support way more Trump than I support any of this liberal stuff. But
Right.
Trump does a lot of stuff like USMCA, which is clearly communism and central planning. But you don't even care about that. He built the wall, you idiots. He built the wall, and now he's turned over the reins to the communists. What's the wall going to be used for now, fools? Useful idiots.
All right, buddy.
The wall's not going anywhere, buddy. You guys are so the high IQ crowd over there, right? You're
All
the
right.
high IQ crowd over there. You built the damn wall for the
Very
communists.
entertaining.
Yeah,
Black people.
You built the wall for the communists, fool.
All right, Ramel.
Do you really think Trump wants to be a politician?
I got to
you
run, Ramel.
fool?
We'll talk again.
Trump is a statesman. Trump has no
Right.
interest in running twice. He shouldn't have ran once. You had a better chance. of
Ramel,
supporting Trump
I
in the
got to
private
go.
sector.
We'll talk again. Take care.
Yeah, next time you laugh at a 9-year-old being tased, I don't give a damn if they're black or white or Asian or Hispanic. You will have another call for me because that's clearly child endangerment.
All right, man.
Peace.
All right, you too. Interesting. Hang up on the dude, says Joshua Borkin. It's so interesting to me. I sometimes get carried away. Let me talk with Chris in Inglewood, California. He wants to comment on this incident. Chris, how are you doing?
Hey there, Hake with the good hair.
Hey,
What's up with you, man?
nothing much.
Look, I just want to comment on that last caller, Ramel.
Ramel.
What's his name? I could agree with him on one thing. You know, he's a Trump supporter, but that's about where the buck stops because he sounds like a over emotional. Paul Ramel sounds just like his mama. Just a over emotional beta male. I mean,
I'm glad he called in. I'm glad he called in because he represents people who are oversensitive about laughter or mocking situations and all that stuff. Just overly dramatic about An out-of-control 9-year-old getting pepper sprayed.
I mean, way over the top. And listen, you are allowed to have any reaction to anything that you have. And if laughter was your reaction to that can't nobody knock you for that. I mean, let me be clear. Child abuse is not funny, okay? But I saw the video of this girl, and the way she was acting.
Back off your phone a little. Back off your phone. It's coming in crunchy.
All right, you got me.
Yeah, that's better, I think. Anyway, you watched the video?
I watched the video, Hake, and this girl acting the same mentality that a lot of black folks have dealing with the police.
Right.
Just out of control, screaming, won't respect authority. All she had to do was sit her tail down somewhere. They warned her over and over, stop.
Right.
Stop. Don't do that. Stop. I want my daddy. She's screaming like
man.
And let me tell you, that 9-year-old look at least 16. Okay?
Right.
And before they pepper sprayed her, they told her a few times, listen, you want this? Just put your foot in the car. She wouldn't do it. Finally, they spray her, and that's what they're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? When you got to make them comply, it's called pain compliance.
Did they taser her?
You know? No, they ain't taser her.
Okay. Nice.
They used the pepper spray. A female officer came in with pepper spray and begged her to stop. She wouldn't stop. She fighting, she kicking, and she got sprayed.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's what happens. And look, I commend those officers for spraying her because they taught her a lesson.
Yeah.
Maybe later on she'll learn to respect authority. She'll think twice before acting a fool like that.
The BLM protesters who pulled up the police barricades in response later that night or the next day or whatever, they were setting a bad example for her. They're basically rewarding her out of control behavior. Maybe that must be why she's acting that way. Why would a 9-year-old get that out of control?
Listen, she
wants her
like
daddy
because she learned it. She learned it from the folks she around.
Right.
You know, that's from her role models that the police are evil or whatever nonsense Black Lives Matter want to tell you.
Right.
You know, it's just ridiculous, man. I mean, but yeah, that's all I want to let you know, man. You ain't wrong for laughing. I laughed too.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was funny.
Right.
That's what happened. If you want to act like a dingbat, you know, you get the special treatment.
Yeah. It's not as if it's a good thing that this young lady is that out of control. It's evil what must have happened to her growing up that she's that out of control and wild. And it's a shame that the Black Lives Matter is not acting in the best interests. The Black Lives Matter protesters overturning police barricades and trying to get into the police building. Give me a break. In Rochester, New York.
I mean, you only 9 years old.
Yeah.
And you already causing nationwide media incidents with the police.
Right.
Like,
good point.
That girl need her tail whooped, man. Like,
she's right though. She said, "I want my daddy."
That pepper spray served her right. I should probably remember this for a long time.
And what type of a name is a custodial parent? I guess that's the one who has custody of the. I don't know if that's the mother or the father or somebody else being a custodian, a guardian.
They come up with too many new terms for me, Hake. I mean,
should have just said the mother or the father.
Yeah, they need to teach their daughter how not to act a fool in public because she making their whole family look bad.
Yeah, but custodial parent, that sounds like she doesn't have both parents. And that's no surprise based on her behavior.
Yeah.
What a mess.
I mean, when I was 9, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm playing with Power Rangers, bro. I didn't even ever see a police.
Yep.
So that's just goes to show you what type of environment she got going on, man. So I hope she gets some help, you know, like I'm saying.
And it's not mental health. It's spiritual evil.
Exactly. It's exactly what Jesse Lee be talking about.
Yeah.
The renewing of the heart.
Yep. Anyway, I liked that guy's call because that's how people act.
I mean, he was just getting really emotional, man. He need to calm down a little bit.
You know, honestly, I think he might have been performing. Come to think of it, he might have been performing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I appreciate it, Chris.
Hey, I appreciate you. Hey, talk to you later, buddy.
All right. Take care.
All right.
Oh, speaking of people full of hate, let me get to Jacob in North Carolina. He wants to talk about that that guy that I mentioned who said he would kill his children if they interracially dated. What's up, Jacob?
Hey, what's up, Hake? How you doing, man?
Fine.
Good, man. Good. So, I actually watched that interview recently with Glenn Miller.
Glenn Miller, yeah. He actually shot up. He shot up some Christians at a outside of a synagogue years later. What an evil guy.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know if it's true or not.
Well, I mean, he seemed pretty shameless when he was arrested.
Yeah.
True. We don't know what actually happened, but reportedly he did. And I wouldn't put it past him if he's that evil that he would say something like that. Sounds like he's off his rocker.
Do you think that he's evil?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or do you think his ideas are evil, all of them?
I don't know about all of his ideas or ideas generally. There is this fake. Oh, he's died. According to the PR guy out there, Jason Lee Peterson, PR guy, he's dead now.
Where did he die? In prison?
Maybe so, or in jail or something. He was pretty old, but I don't think ideas are necessarily ideas in terms of lies. If he believed lies and pushed lies, those are evil. Lies are evil. But sometimes factual information mixed with anger, that's not truth. So when you get angry at the so-called truth, about the so-called truth and how these people are liars, and you're so-called self-righteously angry at these liars, this is a trap that a lot of conservatives and whites and everybody fall into. A lot of the Jew critics fall into this. They learn factual information and then they get mad about it, and that's what's evil. Same thing with Farrakhan. Evil, angry person.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that. But Glenn Miller, actually, I listened to yesterday as well a old like from 1984 interview with some of his. He used to be a Christian, actually.
Yeah.
He used to be a Christian.
Oh yeah, no, oh my gosh, I'm having flashbacks of the reference to what he called Jesus, K-word on a stick.
Oh, kike on a stick.
Don't say it, man. Don't say it.
That was messed up. Oh, sorry, dude. Yeah. So I wasn't binge watching, but I was getting into, looking at stuff, because I do understand that, the winners, they write the history. The winners write history, and that, you kind of have to see it for yourself to know for a fact what's going on. And so I've been told, and I'm biracial. I don't know if that matters or not, but just to give you some context.
That means black and white?
Yeah, I'm black and white. That's right. I'm like 60% white, 40% black.
Nice.
And so I'm lucky. I'm just kidding. But what's interesting is I've been looking at a lot of old Ku Klux Klan archive videos and just trying to see what they're about. Why?
Right.
Because I know that I have to know for myself what's wrong. If it was evil or not. Man, a lot of the ideas that they had, they came about because they were being imposed upon.
Right.
They were being imposed upon, and their way of life was being imposed upon. And so, therefore, they came up with these ideas of, white advocacy, which is totally okay. But what I do think, and what Jesse always talks about, as soon as you get angry, you lose.
Right.
Once you have the anger and you do something, act out on it, that's how evil can get you. Like, Satan can influence you to hurt yourself, but he can't hurt you.
Yeah.
So I think the Ku Klux Klan ended up being hurt by having that hatred in the heart. And you can only just be a few people, too, that can ruin your whole cause. Just a few messed up people can ruin your cause.
Right.
And so I think that's what happened to the Ku Klux Klan.
That makes a lot of sense. I think that there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
That's why the South is smeared generally. The North was known to be kind of more corrupt cities and all that stuff. And to this day, the South is smeared as racist when they're just Christians. They're just normal Christians. Both the blacks, well, in some cases, the blacks and the whites. Anyway, interesting,
and also,
man.
they're not like liberal, diversity,
right.
All the diversity advocates and stuff. They're just regular people that work hard, do regular stuff, and they have preferences, which I don't see that that's a problem at all. To have a preference,
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I do want to ask you one more question about the Glenn Miller thing. All right. And I got buddies of mine that, they talk about the Jews and stuff and, just the whole JQ question. And, my opinion is that I do believe that the Jews have had a lot of hands and a lot of destruction in this country and Christianity. But
yeah,
like Jesse says, man, there's ways to deal with things and there's ways not to do it. And if you're angry, then you should just be quiet about the Jews because I think you'll just do more harm than good.
Yeah.
If you're angry about it.
You hurt yourself.
Also, man, also like I see with the blacks and the whites, I mean, black people are complaining all day long about the whites and they're not ever getting anything better in their own house. They're never cleaning their own house up because they're too focused on the whites.
Right.
And I don't want white people to get into that either.
Yeah.
So where's the balance, though? Do you think we should not talk about the Jews at all, or do you think that they should be off the radar, or what?
You can definitely talk about them, talk freely. I think that people should have the spirit of the freedom of speech. But yeah, you also have to be smart because we live in a world in which we don't have freedom of speech, and anything that you say that may be true or factual is going to be seen as racist or anti-Semitic and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So you have to be wise and in the right context and always with the right spirit and stuff like that. But you shouldn't just develop a rule for yourself. I'm not going to talk about this, nor should you have a rule that forget it. I'm just going to say whatever I want to say. No filter. Just be a total spurg. You got to be wise.
Yeah. In the spirit of the moment, huh?
Yeah, because you'll notice that Jesse Lee Peterson, he's not into this topic much, but he'll bring it up and he just brings people together by just being truthful, honest. It's pure love. And people who even disagree with him appreciate him for that because they can sense that he's coming from love. Even without recognizing it. Some people just can't help but like the guy. Yeah.
It reminds me kind of Jared Taylor. He's like a white advocacy guy, and he doesn't hate. He doesn't have anything like it. He's still been banned off everything.
I know.
Jared Taylor, but it is not. But still, he comes about it in a way that is extremely logical and not angry. So you can kind of get his ideas without all the BS. All the nonsense.
Right. Yep.
So.
Yeah, and they just go after him. They go after him by smearing him as a hater, because they can't combat his ideas or the factual information he brings up. It's very true.
Yeah. A part of me wants to say, with that information is, you're doomed if you do, you're doomed if you don't. But I don't live like that. I think that
we don't know what the future holds. We have to have faith, stand on truth, and you don't have to be results based. I read on the internet somewhere that times are always changing. There's good times, there's bad times. Our job is to get up every day, do what's right, and be right, regardless. Mm-hmm. And that can be powerful for awakening others and everything. Just doing your duty, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of whether we so-called win or lose in the worldly stage.
Yeah, man, because as Christians, we never lose anyways, right? We're not oppressed. We can't be.
That's right.
I don't feel like I am anyway, right?
Nice.
So, do you have time for one more question?
Real quick.
All right, real quick. I've heard, my experience, I'm going to talk to you about pornography. My experience with it has been that through the silent prayer and not judging it and being aware, I do see myself not getting deeper into it, and kind of God has allowed me to wiggle out of it.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And just slowly. But I heard you say one time that people may use that as an excuse that, that God will remove it from you and stuff, and kind of as an excuse to not, to continue to do the wrong thing, or something along those lines. I don't want to misquote you.
Yeah.
So where is that balance? What do you see, especially in this day and age? Pornography is so pervasive. What has your experience been with it, and how would you, from your perspective, how could you say that one would be able to overcome it?
I think you're handling it right. Just be always watch yourself. Don't follow, like Jesse Lee Peterson brings up, how you watch the thoughts and doubt every thought. When you do that, that's the best way to do it, because otherwise you're gonna start caving and giving in and just giving yourself over to it. But just be honest with yourself. Watch yourself. like what you said, you're doing the silent prayer, pray without ceasing, and you're. I think that's the best way to do it, because then you won't fall to deception of, oh, I'm slow, I'm getting better, when in reality you're sinking. You know what I mean? Or you're just saying, oh, I just can't help myself. That's like what the liberals do. You know, oh, I can't change myself, so I'm just going to be a total degenerate.
Oh yeah,
no, that's not the way to be.
That lady.
Right.
Yeah. Gonna be a LGBTQ. I can't help it. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Hake. I really appreciate you, man.
Right on, man. Appreciate you, Jacob. Take care.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Be well. Bye.
All right. I'll be right back, guys. I have a bunch of callers to get to. I will get to this black cop from Minneapolis who he kind of smeared his former fellow officer, Derek Chauvin, in my opinion, more than he needed to. So I will get to that and your calls. Hang tight, guys. A couple of minutes here. We're well into the second hour. We will be right back for the rest of hour 2. Be right back. That was, who was it? I mean, I know that was Bright Lights, John Parfit. What was the name of that song? You remember?
The 400.
The 400, but 4 capital O, I think.
Yep.
With spaces, I think. Something like that. Very nice song. Let me just double check the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/the Hake Report, and also I'm on Trovo. What a mess. So I dropped and restarted twice. Did you hear that? Man, what a mess. No. I'm just talking about way back when that happened, before I got in with Ramel, into that conversation with Ramel. Let me get to Maze in Dayton, Ohio. She's been trying to get through for a couple of days now. Maze, what's up? Hey.
Hello, James.
Hi.
I heard you you need to apologize to Earl.
You heard that I need to apologize to Earl?
No, I was asking you. I was saying that you need to apologize to Earl.
Why?
Because you called him a woman. So what? And he called you the same thing.
No, he
but
didn't.
In a different word.
No.
What do you call a man? What do you call a man when you call him a woman? What is it then? What's the definition of both of those words?
A man who's being called a woman is a female-minded liberal.
Wherever you say so.
Yeah. I didn't call him an F word for homosexual.
You called him a woman, so.
Why do I have to apologize? I don't. I stand by that statement.
It should go if you shouldn't call people names if you don't want to be called names.
No,
right?
it's not that I don't want to be called names. He can call me names, but he can't be vulgar on my show.
Well, if it's vulgar, you say you got kids listening.
Right.
Some of the vulgar things that come out of y'all mouth, please.
I know, but I don't say the F word for homosexual. There's certain words I don't say on air.
Words a lot of people don't
On
say,
air.
but it still means the same thing.
Huh?
But, and we're gonna get to art.
I know if it means the same thing, but you're being silly. Like
No, I'm not.
the problem is name calling. I'm
Listen
name
to-
calling for Christ. To quote,
Listen, James, you're not name calling
Brother
for Christ.
Dean.
You're right. Heathens. That's what you're name calling for. But anyway, and get to Art yesterday. I listened to him. He was talking about test tube babies. He said, "Now we're not having babies like we should be having." Test tube babies started in 1952.
I heard that the first one was born in 78.
No, 73. He was nowhere to be thought about. This is nothing new. See, if you don't go back
That's
and look
new. Are you kidding?
Test tube
40,
babies
50,
started in what year,
40 or
James?
50 years ago, that's new.
What year did I say? 1952.
That's new.
Why is it new?
Because it's only in people's lifetimes.
In people's lifetime. He was saying that that's the new thing for us.
It is new.
It's going to have to be test tube baby because we can't have any babies. So if it was
50
in
years. 50 years is not a long test for a
I'm
test
not
tube
asking
baby.
how long it was. I was saying it's nothing
68
new.
years?
It's nothing new. If it started in 52, you act like it just started.
But the
when you
first
were
one
born.
was allegedly born in the 70s.
Yes, the first one was born in the 70s. But they've been doing it for how long? It's nothing new for the millennials or whatever
It's
you want to call
new.
yourself.
It's still new.
You just don't know about it.
You're acting like the
But tell me,
world
hit the
started in when you were born or something.
No,
When
tell
were
him
you
to hit the
born?
books and he would know. And then I got one more.
When were you
we
born?
talked about- When was I born? I don't know. I really don't know.
You're that country, huh?
No, I'm just that American. I don't know.
Americans
But anyway,
usually know.
We're going to get back to this civil rights thing that I heard Joel speak of this morning.
She's going to go after you, Joel.
And I heard that guy that don't like the statues he made because they're taking them down. He said it was for free stuff. What kind of free stuff was he talking about that black people get? See, I ask questions. I don't just jump places. I want to know answers. I don't understand what free is subsidies, free stuff.
You want Joel to answer that?
No,
or
the
you
one
want me
that was
to?
saying
Or you want me to answer that?
No, the person that said it's civil rights was for black people to get free stuff.
Right.
The one that always this man about the statue being taken down. What is his name? I can't think of his name.
Chris, White Chris, skateboard White
him.
Chris.
Yeah, he said it. So I was wondering where did he get that from?
Common experience. That's everybody knows that. That's what
Really?
it's about.
So answer this question, and I'm gonna leave because I'm
All
gonna
right.
give y'all a break for the rest of these weeks.
All right.
If Joel, Chris had something that Joel don't have, what is it?
Good diction.
No. I'm talking when it comes to civil rights. What do they have?
Oh,
What
you
Chris have and Joel
white
don't
skin.
have? Huh?
White skin.
James, you're not even listening to what I'm saying.
I know
said
you're
when it comes to
you're
civil
pretending
rights.
that. Oh, is it voting rights, Maze?
That's right. You
Oh
gotta
gosh.
ask. Joel
What
got
an
to
eye
ask. You
roll.
got the right to. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Y'all needed to get together.
What's wrong with
Little
that?
civics.
Is there something wrong with that, Maze?
Yes, there's something wrong with it.
What's wrong with it?
It's part of his civil rights.
What's
Have
wrong
the same
with
rights
it?
he got.
No, you didn't say what's wrong with
because
voting
people look
being.
like you. Because people look like you are in the way of people having the same rights. They made the laws.
That's what
We
America
didn't.
was. America was a white country, Maze.
It's just like it was a white. It's not
Maze.
anymore. No, it wasn't. It was never a white.
Yes, it was a white country
Really? When?
when it started.
Native Americans were here before.
That wasn't America.
Really?
That was not America.
Well, the first person that was the president of this country was not even a Caucasian man. So I don't know his name was John Hampton. So what?
Doesn't mean that it wasn't a white
Look it up,
country.
read it, and know your history.
Exceptions to the rule don't make it not a white
it's
country,
rules
Maze.
now. It's some rules now. So if y'all stop being selfish, and then if y'all stop
It's
being
not
selfish,
selfishness. It's protecting the country.
Oh, it's really.
Yes,
so
it
if
is.
and you talk
Because
about
look
the
at how you people vote, Maze.
No,
You
no, no.
people
How
vote
you
for the
people-
destruction
no,
of
it's not-
America.
because we don't have to. It's like y'all want to tell us how we should do. And
No,
what
we don't want to tell. You're
Yes,
trying to
you
tell
do.
us how we should
Well,
do,
why-
Maze. You're a hypocrite.
James, until the day that we get the same right and not
No.
the same rights you got,
No. No.
not an act.
No.
All right.
No.
Still, is y'all holding it back? Who's holding it back?
You don't believe in actual justice, Maze. You're a phony.
Who's holding it back? Tell me.
The Jews.
Oh, you want to find somebody to blame?
No, but you're blaming. You're
No, no,
pretending
no, no,
like,
no, no.
oh, white
I'm
people
asking
in
you,
charge, and this is
if
so
anybody
terrible.
was-
Give me a break. You never had it so good.
Any Christian.
You never had it so good, Maze.
Had it so good about who?
Admit it. Admit it.
Had it so good about who?
Black people never had it so good as in America.
So good because of my ancestors. So don't you tell me that you was the reason why I had it so good. So y'all always want people to think you're giving people stuff. You ain't giving people nothing. You begging them like everybody else.
False. When are you going to thank white people for making this country so great?
No, I do not thank them for doing nothing because just as I said.
Because you hate white people.
If you say so, that's all. That's a
I do say so, and that's a fact.
That's a scapegoat.
Jack.
So see, the truth y'all don't like. And Sharon, it ain't gonna hurt you to share. And then you talked about the little girl that was tased.
Yeah,
what about
she was not tased. She was pepper sprayed.
What about Kelly Ann and her daughter? In the
mess.
Came to their house.
A total mess.
Do that represent her family, or do it represent your community?
It represents kind of my community a little bit because there's a whole lot of whites getting out of control.
Oh, it is.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad you admitted that.
I've always said it. I've been saying it, but you just are kind of dense. You don't.
And then when you talk
you have a preconceived notion about my lack of fair-mindedness.
And then when you come to the congresswoman, the one that
are you happy that whites are out of control too, Maze?
Well, we have raised them, so we know they've been out of control after we left the house.
You raised us to be out of control?
After we
the black nannies. I have somebody to blame for how whites got out of control. It's the black nannies.
Let me put it this way, James. After some of our ancestors left the house that was teaching y'all to have good sense, y'all been out of control.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to put it that way. But when you talk about the congresswoman, that is she embarrassing the community, the one that threatened to kill Nancy Pelosi, and the one that threatened to kill the
I don't believe that that's what she did. But, yeah, she's embarrassing a lot of the people who should be embarrassed for their own behavior, not hers.
Who is she representing? And then the one that
she's representing the state of Georgia.
And the one
Marjorie Taylor Greene is representing the state of Georgia, who voted for her. And the people who are smearing her, are smearing her voters, too.
Okay, well, they might be just like her. But Mike Pence, the one that wanted to hang Mike Pence, are they representing
Linwood,
like you?
Linwood, yeah, he represents. There's some nuttier side of people.
I mean, that was a song. You wouldn't have one person doing it. Do they represent? Because hanging was done when?
Yeah, it's representative of how there's some people who are kind of nutty.
Oh, okay. You call them they nutty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wouldn't you call that nutty? He didn't make threats. I gotta go, Maze. You're wasting time.
I need to ask questions. See, I'm not just jumping. I want to ask questions and I need answers.
Okay, Ramel. Okay, Ramel.
Tell Art to go back to his books before he come out with stuff.
No, I'm not telling Art anything.
So when you
don't tell me what to do, Maze.
You shouldn't call a real man.
You're not the boss of the world.
No, I'm not. I'm just telling you how I think. I'm only thinking for me. I don't think for my sisters, my brothers, or my children, or my husband. I'm thinking for me.
You should cut that out. You should stop thinking. You shouldn't worry your pretty little head about the outside world.
Well, the outside world, I have to deal with the outside world every day.
No, you don't.
So as long as I got to deal with them and then I get the same rights you got, then I can say we're equal.
You know way too much for your own good.
Tell them that's the problem. So have a good day.
Thanks. You too. Take care. Whew. Let me get to Craig in Illinois. He wants to comment on that 9-year-old girl who was pepper sprayed. What's up, Craig? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Mr. Hake? How you doing, sir? Man, I was falling asleep hearing Maze talk, man.
Yeah, just droning on, motor mouth Maze.
Right, I only understood 2 words that came out of her mouth was civil rights. The rest, I didn't understand a word she was saying.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Ramel called. He was crying. He was upset at you because you're laughing. And, okay. First of all, the little girl was resisting arrest, okay? Yep. And she didn't look like she was 9 years old. She looked like she was more like 14 or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's what Chris from Inglewood said, 16.
What's up, man? Oh, my God, man. And then...
That's so common among young people today. I don't know if it's the hormones that they feed them or the fact that they're being raised without their fathers. A lot of times girls go through puberty earlier because they don't have their fathers. And
I don't know.
It's a mess.
It is a mess, man. But I just don't understand how these guys call the show and they feeling so involved in it without knowing all the facts to the story.
Yeah.
Okay. She was kicking. They told her to put your hands behind your back. She was out of control. But they don't want to look at that.
Yeah.
And whatever this young lady is taught at home to do towards the police, look what happened.
Right.
Now probably they're going to get sued for what they did.
Yeah, the city's probably going to give a settlement to them, huh? Rewarding the bad behavior of the parents and the girl. And you know the Black Lives Matter agitators who who tore down like police barricades last night or whenever it was, 2 nights ago maybe, they're setting a bad example too. This girl doesn't have a chance to get some sense in her life.
Yes. I don't understand, man, the hypocrisy with this because, black people come together when stuff like this happens, but when you got the black-on-black crime, you don't see nobody out there doing any protesting or rioting or tearing up anything. I don't understand this. This is so bad here. It just makes us,
the solution isn't protesting or anything like that with regard to the black crime. It's returning to morals and responsibility and family.
It is moral character.
Yeah.
But you see the hypocrisy with this, though, how they, let's come together for this little 9-year-old. And then watch the race hustlers, they start coming over there, attacking the white cops because they're doing their job.
Emotional
resisting arrest.
Emotional manipulation, no better than Cortez.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I was amazed how this guy said, well, the next time you laugh when a 9-year-old get pepper sprayed, I'm gonna give you a call.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, he fell for the propaganda.
Jack, you can laugh.
Right. I appreciate it, Craig. Good to hear from you. Take care.
All right, man. Y'all take care. Okay, bye.
All right. Let me quickly get to Dana in South Dakota. One more comment on Ramel and the 9-year-old girl. What's up, Dana?
Hey, Hake.
Hey.
I actually wanted to make a quick comment for Mays, too. I wanted to remind her that every U.S. president ever has been of British or Dutch descent.
Okay.
That's white.
I heard some rumor that the first president was actually like black or something, but I don't know if that's true. Maybe
Either
that was
way,
black
every
history
single
propaganda.
one of them had, he could have been like Obama. Was he British? Obama had British blood.
Does he?
He black.
Okay.
Yeah, he does.
Wow.
But anyways, every single president in U.S. history has been of British or Dutch descent.
Okay. Wow, I didn't know that.
And Trump, he was of Dutch descent.
Yeah. And Scottish, too, a little. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways.
I had no idea about the Dutch.
That little girl. I have a 10-year-old girl, and I'm looking at this like I laughed, too. It is utterly ridiculous. And what's wrong with laughing? I'm the type of person that laughs at a funeral. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, a lot of people have a dark sense of...
you can't control how people respond.
Yeah, a lot of people have a dark sense of humor. They just get kind of shocked about a situation. There were people laughing inside the Passion of the Christ movie with when they were whipping Jesus in the Mel Gibson movie because people will get shocked.
Yeah, I can imagine who was laughing.
Yeah, but this 9-year-old girl situation. I think people get emotionalized about children and little girls and imaginary police brutality.
It's the parents' fault.
Yeah.
It's the parents. The parents' fault. She's in that situation 100%.
Right.
The little girl doesn't know better, and these parents taught her to resist it. I mean, that guy was right when he said they taught her to resist authority.
Right.
They taught her the whole BLM nonsense that cops are trying to kill you and this and that. So, yeah, of course she was going to freaking be like that and wig out. Who wouldn't if they thought that someone was trying to kill them?
Right.
You brainwash these kids that way.
Yep.
I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
What do you expect? And it's just ridiculous. But you can't, I mean, to seriously try to control how someone reacts to something is insane to me.
Yeah.
Laughter and comedy has been used for forever to break the tension, break the ice in a room. I mean, it's a way to break tension. It's a common response for people, and there are conditions. I don't know if you watched the Joker movie, but that's a real thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you can laugh. You can have uncontrollable laughter.
Yeah.
I want to talk about mental illnesses.
True.
But whether that girl and mental illness is not an excuse.
Yeah.
It's not.
And it's not the reason.
Many people have so-called mental illnesses.
People think that people just chalk it up to that, and they don't ask why they became so-called mentally ill. They don't go further than that. They just say, "Oh, mental illness. Therefore, it's a victim."
It's obviously nurture that the issue is, and the lack of fatherhood, and that lack of fathers can lead a girl to develop early, especially girls.
Right.
They can develop a whole lot earlier because they're yearning for the father. Jesse's absolutely right in that. It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
So it's sad, but it's like, yeah, of course, those people are going to laugh. The parents allowed this daughter to become a national spectacle.
Right.
People are going to laugh. People are going to cry. People are going to be angry. You cannot control the way people respond. All you can do is control yourself. And if you want to be a beta and cry about it and tell someone who you did it was inappropriate, it's like, well, it's inappropriate to laugh at funerals. Are you going to come criticize me? Because I'd rather think of the good things that person did in their lifetime and the funny times we had rather than cry about it like a beta. I mean, Jesus.
I appreciate it, Dana.
Celebrate it. All right. You have a good one, Hake.
You too. Take care. All right, guys. So before I get back to calls, Tony's on the line. I wonder if he's going to apologize. Because I banned him. So I wonder if he's going to apologize. We'll see. Strike one was yesterday. But yeah, he's banned until he apologizes. HBO's Real Sports was spotlighting this. This is the New York Times story of a black cop from Minneapolis who I received a tip from a caller, a black rhino caller, Republican in name only, so-called black conservative, who wants me to highlight good stories. And so he told me this story that was highlighted in none other than HBO. Does HBO promote anything good? I don't know. Not in this case, I don't think. They're Real Sports. This is a headline from the Star Tribune, from, I think, Minneapolis Star Tribune. This is in Times at New York Times, NYT Black Cop Minneapolis folder, Joel. HBO's Real Sports spotlights a North High School and its football coach. 27th season premiere. This was from January of 2021, late January 2021, just last week, I believe. A North High School head football coach and former Minneapolis police officer. Oh, so he's a former cop. Charles Adams III is this black cop, okay? Charles Adams III. And he was featured several months back, maybe 6 months ago, October 2020, in the New York Slimes, the failing New York Slimes, by a black writer, Kurt Streeter, I think. Kurt Streeter's a black writer. And I'm showing pictures. Joel's showing pictures on the video screen if you're watching the video. As a coach and a cop in Minneapolis, where would he draw the line? And I don't know what they're exactly talking about. While his city struggles with the pandemic and wounds laid bare by George Floyd's alleged killing, Charles Adams embodies the everyday people trying to make change. Yeah, okay. This guy is a black guy who claims to have wanted to change the police force from within. This is a picture of him back when he was a cop. I guess he's a former cop now. Back in September. I don't know when he resigned or why. I didn't really read the whole article, but I caught glimpses of it. I skimmed through it. And this guy claimed that he wanted to change the police force from within. And the presumption is that, oh, the police are racist and I'm going in here to change things from within. Honestly, I wonder if that's even true, or if he was just a guy getting a job as a cop, you know? And then because he's black, he feels the pressure to pretend like, oh, I came in to change things from within and fight racism. Because blacks all have to band together and pretend that they believe in and oppose this imaginary racism thing, when I suspect they probably know that it's not true. According to this New York Times, he was a 20-year veteran of the police force, an African-American officer who tried to effect change from the inside. So claims this Kurt Streeter guy, who's another black New York Times reporter, right? Failing New York Slimes. He's talking about the riots, and he feared for his safety because he's wearing a face shield and gas mask. It hid his identity from the angry crowds. So since he's a black cop, they may attack him. I mean, just because he's a cop, they may attack him. They don't know he's black. And even if he's black, they hate him anyway. All kinds of stuff like that, right? Phoniness. Just a whole lot of drama. And meanwhile, pretending that this thing is a real issue. That this Black Lives Matter protest is a real valid complaint, or this racism we need to change from within. change the police force from within, pretending that the police force has racism in it. So I go to see what he said about George Floyd because the caller, Joe from Phoenix, who called in about this officer who, he was a cop and then he became a football coach and he set a good example for the kids. I wanted to see what he said about George Floyd. Not George Floyd. Officer Derek Chauvin, former Officer Derek Chauvin, who had the knee on the neck of George Floyd, right? Because everybody said, oh, he was a racist. Oh, he's police brutality. And his, Asian wife, Derek Chauvin, right? This former cop, the white one. His wife even divorced him. What a mess. He had an Asian wife. And the caller to my show said that he wasn't surprised that Derek Chauvin did what he did. I'm like, what does that even mean? Doesn't sound like this black former cop is a decent person because he's smearing a fellow former officer. So this video came out of the officer Chauvin's knee on George Floyd's neck, and this Charles Adams, the second or third, said, right is right and wrong is wrong, and this was as wrong as can be. The moment I saw that video, I could tell it was going to set us back 10, 20 years in terms of trust or more. Talking about blacks not trusting police. He's pretending that blacks have a reason not to trust the police, when in reality, the blacks are more the problem than the police. So he said he knew Chauvin. They weren't friends, but they started on the police force around the same time. In the early years, he and Chauvin were once part of the group of officers who took a group of black children fishing for a day. And he said that Chauvin came off as weird, socially awkward. Hence, he's married to Asian girl. Not sociable. You could see something about him in his eyes during the video with him on Floyd's neck. Control and power and stubbornness. So this guy acts like he's a mind reader. That even made Joel Friday laugh. Yeah, stubbornness and control and power. Meanwhile, Derek Chauvin probably was completely being nonchalant, just another day at work, not even thinking what they think they're thinking. These people are the same mind readers who watched the video of that smirking racist Covington Catholic school boy. I'm blanking on that boy's name. Nicholas Sandman, the pro-life kid who, with his racist smirk, standing in the way of the American Indian man beating in the drums in his face. Oh, I could see it in his eyes. He's just racist with that racist smirk. That's what I think is happening with these evil human nature judging Derek Chauvin based on nothing but their own evil imagination. It's their own dirty mind. Anyway, I could totally see Chauvin being a socially awkward guy, though. It looked like it. I saw him at a beauty pageant with his Asian wife who divorced him. And yeah, but that doesn't mean that he's racist. Give me a break. Adams loved being a police officer, but he knew there were still members of the force like Chauvin. What the heck does that mean? What does that even mean? It's just blindly judging Derek Chauvin. What a mess. Who was fired and now faces second-degree murder charges and manslaughter charges. Released on $1 million bail back in October. And, by the way, the writer of this article is no actual honest journalist, if there is such a thing. He's more like a typical journalist. This Kurt Streeter guy is a black sports writer. He talks about race, gender, and social justice, too. The connection between sports and broader society. Barf. Give me a break. So that's, that feel-good story that Joe from Phoenix brought me about this black cop who brought in some white cops to help coach his black kids and teach them to set a good example. He's going around smearing, joining in the crowd, following the crowd, pretending that he's fighting racism from within his police force back when he was on it, and pretending that Derek Chauvin was about power and control and stubbornness. What? Anyway, I just had to share that with you. Glad I got that out. Let me get to, interesting. I don't want him to be eating up our lines. This phony guy, let me see if he will apologize. I banned him, but I'm a overly lenient white guy. Tony in California.
Hey, Hank, how you doing today? I would like to give you a humble apology for violating your show and the codes and the ethics of your work station there.
Okay.
So I hope you'll accept my wonderful and humble apology, sir.
All right. I accept your apology, Tony. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Very nice. Isn't that beautiful? Tony apologized. But he's on probation, so I hung up on him. But thank you, Tony. I accept the apology. That was a beautiful apology. And I could tell it was so heartfelt, too. He's such a performer. How are you doing today? Acting all friendly. How can you not like the guy? But I did hang up on him. But thank you, Tony. All right. Let me talk to Joe in Phoenix, Arizona. He's actually calling in about the Minneapolis cops, and he's the one who gave me that tip. So thank you, Joe, for that. What's up, Joe in Phoenix?
Hey, James.
Hey.
All right. So I'm not so sure you're giving him a fair shake there. I think the reason why you said that about Chauvin is because in a 19-year career, he had 22 complaints and censures from his department filed against him.
So he was censured. He was censured by his department.
Hold on a second. Let me check on that. Hold on.
Whoa. Okay. Well, I know that a lot of cops get complaints. It's not proof of anything, but
20 complaints and 2 letters of reprimand filed against him in a 19-year career.
2 letters of reprimand?
20 complaints and 2 letters of reprimand.
Okay. Complaints are not evidence. The reprimand is not even honestly evidence because we have a highly politicized police force that police forces
Over
around the country.
Years, James.
Over 20 years. Yeah, exactly. That's not that much. And that doesn't really tell me anything.
His opinion on that.
It doesn't tell me anything. My only complaint was how this guy is judging the man based on the look on his face and jumping to conclusions like every emotional person did about the knee on the neck, including like nice guys that I like Brandon Tatum, who's been on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. Brandon Tatum was overreacting to the knee on the neck.
One of the letters of reprimand was for the same exact thing 7 years prior. They were putting a knee on the neck of a suspect. So
but that's part of. But are you aware that that's part of the department training? Is they do that? They put the knee on the neck. Yeah. Oh man, you got.
There's rules around doing that.
What's that?
There's rules around doing that, and
okay.
His reprimand was for doing it excessively.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't for him putting the knee on the neck, but this overreaction and calling him a murderer and mind reading him based on the look on his face, give me a break. And then this black cop pretending like he
on the mind reading, but the murder charge, I mean, that's the letter of the law. He's going to have to face that.
Well, we'll see. I don't see him getting a fair trial because of how his character has been assassinated by the evil media and the evil masses who just blindly follow their emotional overreaction to unpleasant sights.
Well, the law is supposed to be immune to all that. So
it's not. We all know that it's not. But we will see what happens, yeah. You know, juries are definitely not immune to that. Nor judges. What's that?
That people can't. Earlier you made a comment that people can't refute Jesse's message, so they attack him. If you notice, I never attacked Jesse personally. I attacked the things that he says.
I was actually referring to Jared Taylor because somebody brought up Jared Taylor.
Okay.
But you jump to conclusions about Jesse all the time.
Disagree on that.
Yeah. You think he's evil. You think he's a fake preacher, all kinds of stuff.
I think the things he says are evil, not him personally. I never attack him personally, ever. You cannot say that.
But you call him a fake, you've called him a false teacher or something. That's a personal attack.
Well, we disagree about what it means to be a preacher.
Okay? Right. You agree with evil people.
You think anyone can just say they're a preacher and they're a preacher. I disagree with that.
You don't know what I think. You also tried to say that I think something about climate change that you have no idea what I think about climate change. You jump to conclusions about me all the time.
You know nothing about it.
Huh?
Those were your words.
What?
You said, I don't know anything about this, but yet you were arguing with me over it.
Right, because of the tactic. Because I asked this guy, the caller that I'm talking to right now, about does he believe that Biden and these Paris Climate Accord people are evil? And he just kept on repeating, climate change is real, and you don't think it's real. Give me a break.
First of all, Biden did not write the Paris Accord, and neither did Obama, by the way.
They shouldn't have signed on to it then. And even if they wrote it, they shouldn't have signed it, because anything that they would write is evil, and anything they agree to is evil.
Well, we disagree with all that, too, so it's not even...
And this guy thinks Obama was great and Trump is evil. What a mess. And this is a rhino. This is a black conservative we're talking to.
Don't put words in my mouth. I never said Trump was evil, and I said the facts show that Obama was an excellent president, and he was.
Yeah, and you think that Trump was bad.
I never said Trump was bad either. I said I criticized him on the facts.
I'm just saying it in short. In short, that's what you're saying. Shorthand.
Don't put words in my mouth, James. I said the deficit skyrocketed, the debt skyrocketed, employment went up, the wall was not built and was not paid for by Mexico.
Oh, give it time.
Obamacare was not repealed and replaced. So based on his own standards, he didn't do a good job.
You're so phony. You're so phony.
James, those are just facts. You cannot refute them. Facts are different things.
Okay, but you don't believe in truth.
Facts are truth. And
no, they're not. No, they're not. Yeah. Anyway, sure we'll talk. Take care, Joe.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Christina in Sacramento wants to comment on the modern woman. What's up, Christina?
Hey, good morning, Steve.
Hey.
So facts are truth. Oh, my gosh.
No, facts are not truth. Facts are misused and cherry-picked all the time. And that's all he did was cherry-pick so-called facts. And by the way, Trump did build the wall.
I've never heard that before.
Right.
Yes. What are you going to do? These people want him to be Jesus Christ. It's just so funny.
Yeah.
But so, James, here's the thing. Sometimes, I don't know if pity is the right word, but I sometimes feel kind of sorry for men of this generation when it comes to them, if they actually do want to settle down and get married and have a decent life. It just seems like there's slim pickings for the guys. I just think about it. You know, I'm currently my age, I'll say it, I'm 57, so I'm the last year of the boomer. And so being raised in the 70s, I don't want to be kind of like Jesse, but back in the day, I didn't grow up seeing all the things that the kids these days are seeing when it comes to families and specifically women.
Right.
It actually is kind of shocking for me to see kind of like the way some of the girls dress in this generation.
Yeah.
The leggings, it's just like they walk around. And when I was a kid growing up, those were like nylons that you wore under a dress.
Right. Now they look like prostitutes.
And you can see every little thing. It's the style, right? So you try to go buy clothes, and that's all there is to choose from.
Degenerate.
And right, and then they have these. It's either that or they have this like you go to the store and it's they call it large size or plus size, but you didn't see clothing made for fat women. You know, right. I'm sorry, it just didn't exist.
Yeah, because obesity's gone out of control. Yep. Very true.
It's celebrated. You know, it's celebrated. I go to go get some exercise clothes, and now they have fat mannequins.
Wow.
I thought, okay, why buy exercise clothes? You know, and so I look at it, and I think it's just, and I really do appreciate, James, when you say to the women, don't worry your pretty little head about this.
Right.
It's so true, because I think instead of becoming completely preoccupied with politics, you know, or advancing their career, I think, especially the married women, why not perfect how to clean the shower?
Right. Good point.
You know, or how to perfect a meal, or how to learn how to be kind and grateful to your husband and gracious to your children. You know, instead of sitting around all day trying to figure out what all these people are doing. It's going to change, and it always does. And so, I don't know.
That's why I'm not happy about this direction of even Marjorie Taylor Greene and all these people who are becoming conservative women and carrying their guns and going into Congress and in your face liberals. Give me a break.
It's like,
no
what
power.
is the point?
Yeah.
It's getting to be ridiculous, I think.
It is. It's past ridiculous.
So what role? Yep. I thought, at least for a little, there's no role models for these young ladies to grow. That's all they see. So of course they're going to think that's how you're supposed to be.
Yep.
And then this new lady that's in charge, I guess, of whatever she's in charge of, she's like 1,000 pounds overweight. They look like men. They dress like men. They have super short hair. They act like men.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, oh my gosh, this is just sad.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It is a shame. There's just so much of this.
But I think that there's always a little bit of light coming in. So you never know. Don't be dismayed at the chances of a guy finding a decent girl or a girl finding a decent guy, because God's got these people who are actually his people.
I see them, and it looks nice to see a woman, for me, to see another woman that's in shape and actually has long hair and curls it and
right.
Does something and is kind.
Be actually
it is
ladylike.
Nice to see them.
Yeah.
They're out there, and I think, God, you know, there's so few of them, but they are there, and it's so nice to see. I mean, movies growing up, James, we would see movies, and it would depict a family, or it would depict, even if both parents were out working, they'd come home and the woman they'd show her cooking, for example. They weren't doing takeout for everything, you know?
Yep.
And the house completely a mess. It's like, and that's so standard, you know? Yeah. I asked some of these ladies, they have no idea how to cook, so everything is In-N-Out Burger or, you know, Panda Express. It's like, oh my gosh. So,
interesting.
I don't know. You know, just my thing. So,
word from a boomer. I appreciate it, Christina. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
All right. Bye. I didn't know she was a boomer. I thought she was Gen X, but she was on the last end of boomer into Gen X. Quickly, let me get to Robert in Kansas. Wants to comment on AOC pretending that she was sexually assaulted. She was a survivor of sexual assault. Whatever. What's up, Robert?
Hey, good show, man.
Thank you.
I wanted to comment on, you mentioned AOC and what happened with her. You know, she was a victim and assaulted in some manner. And then you have the 9-year-old girl, she's being assaulted.
Yep.
And I wanted to talk about this attack up on our women and what the solution is to stop this from happening to them. And this is very complicated. You know, Satan is a crafty guy. And so what we have to do, Hake, is legalize manhood in America. That's one part. And things like domestic violence, stuff like that, the natural authority of the father over the family, right, it is ultimately backed up by violence, just like everything else is. And so we have to legalize that to allow men to be men again. And then number two is to return women to the status of property. That's what we have to do in terms of what a woman's natural role is in the order of God. They shouldn't have the same rights as men. Once you give women the same rights as men, men no longer have rights. You no longer have the father. And the woman is allowed by the system to kill, steal, and destroy, as the devil does. She kills the baby. She steals the resources. She destroys the family.
Yeah.
Right? So by making women property, what happens with that is a lot of people, they freak out at this notion. And what it is basically it means a little girl belongs to her dad. So she has the protection of her dad up until the point of marriage. The ceremony of marriage, basically, is the dad handing the woman to the husband. It's an exchange of property. Women don't necessarily know this. They just know they want a marriage. They want a wedding. They want the whole, eyes on them type thing. They don't realize what the ceremony really is. Now, once the woman is under the husband, as she was under the dad, the kids are then protected. And, of course, we were all kids once, right, whether you're male or female. So a little girl would be protected under her father in that way where she is now his property, and then which he gives to the husband, and on and on and on, right? And so that's really, this is how it used to be back in the day when our society functioned. And, you know, men were men and women were women, and you actually had a household where young people could grow up in a way that produced good adults. And then we have a good society because of that, because people knew the order and knew that men and women were different, and we did play our roles. We had a successful civilization. And now they brought us out of that, making manhood illegal, where all the centralized authority in the government of violence only, where if a man were to act violent, like let's say a father with that 9-year-old girl, the 9-year-old girl's out of control, and the father grabs her and says, you know what, you're going to sit on this couch, and if you move, I'm going to put you back on the couch. Now, this is a form of physical control.
Yeah, people call that violent.
Well, exactly. This man is now committing a crime, which the police will come and take him away from the family, and thus the family destroyed. So this is happening in our society at this massive scale, and it's destroying the family because the father no longer has the rights of a man. It's illegal to be a man in America. I've lived all over the world, Hake, so for me, I've seen societies where it's not illegal to be a man. And if a woman gets out of control and a guy slaps her, it's because she's out of control. They don't have to call the police and destroy the family. The guy just is getting control of his life.
There is a big overreaction to, like, minor little incidences, and she can go wild and hit the man, and if she breaks a nail on the man, she can call the police and have him arrested. It's out of control. I appreciate it, Robert. Interesting points, man. Take care.
That's how we fix it, Hake. We look to the past and when things did function and what rights men had compared to the conspiracy. I forget that it was C.S. Lewis or somebody said society everywhere is a conspiracy against the manhood of every one of its individuals.
Yeah.
So what they want to do is get rid of that leadership of men because men are the leaders and we can lead mankind, all of us, men, women, and children, into a better future where women will lead us into, well, you look around, man. They're leading us.
You can see it.
So
yeah.
We have to restore the order, Hake, and that's in desperate need in this country. God bless, brother. I'll talk to you later.
You too, Robert. Interesting. Rick in Hampton, Virginia, wants to talk about this promoting of homosexuality and all this madness in America. What's up, Rick?
Man, James, Hake, my brother, love you, man. Keep up the good work, brother.
Thank you.
Man, you know, I don't know. It seems like homosexuality is one of those that has a strong spirit, man. Because I was on Facebook and I shared that you cannot be a pastor if you stand up for abortion, transgender, same-sex marriage, and abortion. You should not be behind the pulpit preacher.
Right. Yeah. True. Like Raphael Warnock does.
Yeah. Him. You know, I was talking about him the whole time he was on it. And guess what? The blacks down there got offended because a lot of white Christians calling them out. I said, "Why are you standing for this stuff? And you a pastor?"
Right.
And they were talking about he was just harassing because he's a black man. I'm telling you, man, blacks has been they've been put on overkill with everything is racism, man.
Yep.
Roland Martin was talking about why don't they want to have no black journalists? But it seems like blacks keep confusion going, man.
Stay close to your phone, Rick. You're coming kind of in and out.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now, James?
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
Yeah, and it seems like blacks causes confusion. Everywhere they go, like a black man can say, "Hey, you look hot," or he may go by and say, "Sexy chocolate" or something like that.
What the heck?
She'll call that harassment, but black
say
it to her
ridiculous.
You know.
I know.
And then and then it's crazy, man. And I don't understand. And to me, when I see homosexuality, it seems like to me most men that are homosexuals, I believe something happened to them. Somebody forced themselves on them, and they haven't forgave the person that did it or let it go. And same with women. Most time women do go gay, seems like to me, because out of bad relationships, so they claim there's no good men out there. So they get involved with women, and they find out that women are just as bad.
Yeah,
they cheating on her with another woman.
It's evil. It's just another. Another. What is that thing called? A symptom of the inner evil within, the hatred.
Do you think homosexuality has a lot to do with anger?
Yeah, definitely. Look at them. They're there's some of the most angry people. The radical ones are some of the most angry, evil malicious, vindictive, mean, nasty people that you can that you don't want to know.
Yeah, and that's what I told.
And silly and female. Yeah.
And that's what I told on Facebook. I said, look, most of it comes from anger. They may be mad at someone that done them wrong.
Yeah. And not necessarily, and it wasn't even necessarily physically wrong, spiritual oppression by like the mother.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of times, like the mother's sick of all these boys. And by the time like the youngest one comes around, they're like basically turn him into a girl.
Wow.
It's common.
It's sad to see that.
Yeah.
You know, it's now you hear that AOC is complaining that, you know, how she was talking, oh, I nearly lost my life. And you know what? No congressman was hurt at all.
Yeah.
No. And, you know, she's complaining like, oh, I was witness of getting killed.
Right.
A lot of people don't realize a lie is over-exaggerated is a lie.
Yeah.
Telling the half-truth is a lie. If it ain't the whole truth or nothing but the truth, anything else is a lie.
The left has always been more violent against the right than vice versa.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's no contest. But by them having the media on their side, they turn around and make it like it's the conservatives that are the worst people because they have control of the media.
Right. Yep.
You know, and it's sad because like and you look at it, I say, you you hear a lot of liberals say the Proud Boys are a racist group.
Oh, give me a break. Yeah. Silly.
No, I said that's not true. I said TikTok, stay off that.
Yeah.
Because my daughter was telling me that. I said no, Proud Boys. The only thing they was there for their country, and they are some of the nicest people. But
yeah.
The media would paint them as, and and it's
Oath keepers too. I think that there were oath keepers are former law enforcement or former military, or in some cases active, who want to uphold their oath to protect and defend the Constitution. And many of them are getting smeared. Maybe some of them, I don't know. Maybe some of them got a little out of hand. You know, sometimes people get angry at what's going on and they get a little erratic or out of hand. But generally, these people are people who love the country. And it's a false smear upon the decent people. What a shame.
Well, the liberals, they set us up real good January 6th. But you and Jesse said they shouldn't have got angry. They have sat there and just protested peacefully and even just brought attention to it, man. But once they changed everything.
I couldn't believe my caller, Ramel, he said that everybody at the, I think that he was talking about at the Capitol, Ramel. He said everybody at the Capitol was violent because they were accomplices to the violence. This is so not true. The Black Lives Matter, maybe you have a point because Black Lives Matter has a history of riots being associated with it. But Trump supporter, pro-Trump rallies and defending the Stop the Steal rallies, so-called, have a history of peace. They've never gotten out of hand like that before, ever.
But you know what? The left has successfully made it like they was trying to overthrow the government.
Yeah.
It was not about trying to overthrow the government. It was about voter fraud. That's all it was.
Yep.
It was about voter fraud.
Which of course is baseless. Doesn't exist. Anyway, Rick, I gotta run, man. I have to get to the last callers.
I didn't mean to take up your time.
No problem, man. We'll talk.
This real quick.
Go for it.
It was just that when they were saying with the voter fraud, the only thing that was with when they were saying was voter fraud, it was just that they were saying, hey, y'all was trying to steal the election. They were just trying to bring that up. And then if they weren't trying to steal the election, they wouldn't have been scared.
Right.
They were scared they was going to find out, so someone was going to come out. But anyway, James, love you, brother. Keep up the good work, man. I'll try and call in tomorrow.
Sounds good. Take care, Rick. Appreciate you. Let me get to Ian in Martinez, California. About February. What's up, Ian? How are you doing?
Hake Report.
Nice.
How about the start to BHM, Black Hatred Month?
Yeah, that is wild. I saw a picture that was shocking to me, although it was just shocking maybe because it's so silly and dumb, of YouTube changed its whole logo to say BH month, BHM. instead of the YouTube logo on their website. They hate blacks. Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this guy, what's up with this guy? This new guy calling you now, dude, with the pure hatred.
That was interesting. I wasn't expecting him to get that out of control. But again, I think that he was probably acting, playing up his drama.
Yeah, we should give him a female's name, Ramel.
I don't want to get too offensive to the guy. He seems like he might take it the wrong way if I get too playful with him. You don't want to cross people too much, you know. You don't want to be too disrespectful because people get really malicious and vindictive and vengeful. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's good on you though, dude, for hanging with him.
Yeah, it was interesting.
You went pound for pound. You go pound for pound with these. Why is it always the blacks that are calling you up and screaming and
I know
and yelling at you?
It's fun. It's fun. It makes it more entertaining. Joel, I put YouTube. He's awake. YouTube BHM in the folder. Yeah, Ian, it's a mess. Why do you call it Black Hatred Month?
Well, for openers, that I heard that guy this morning you were talking to with Ramel, and I was like, wow, this guy sounds different. He sounds different than Tony. Sounds different than Earl the Girl. He sounds different than Maze.
Earl, he called him Earl the Girl. Earl's gonna call in and call you the F word again. No, he won't. He won't do that again. Yeah, he was different. He's really anti-Black Lives Matter, and he claims to have supported Trump, but yet he claimed that Trump shouldn't have run in the first place. He was all over the place. There's YouTube's BHM logo, short for Black History Month. Talk about a cringy kiss-up corporate culture, right? Fake. This is false culture. Nobody knows that it's Black History Month except for the mainstream media and these big, huge Google, YouTube, Apple have to remind us, oh, it's Black History Month. Make sure you celebrate now. Okay, Mom. Nobody knows or cares who's normal about this thing, but it's all kissing up to blacks. So, yeah, I agree. There is a whole lot of hatred that's not acknowledged or pointed out among the blacks, and that's why that 9-year-old girl was so out of control. Hatred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were Uboo. I'd call YouTube Uboo. Uboo was doing that before BHM though. They have a black section. It says like black images, black music.
Yeah.
Just like Amazon. Have you noticed that? Amazon Prime Video.
I haven't really watched much Amazon that I know of, but I'm not surprised. It's all a bunch of kissing up, and this kissing up has been happening for a long time. On Huffington Post, they had something called Black Voices. For years, they've had that, and it's all just liberal disgustingness. So, anyway, Ian, I gotta wrap up. I appreciate you, man. Happy Black Hatred Month. The blacks are encouraged to hate, and they don't realize it.
Yeah, it's just always another good reminder to never apologize for being white.
Nice. Take care, Ian. Appreciate you, man.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right. I gotta wrap up. Sorry to the callers. I cannot get to you. Connor in Atlanta wanted to talk about the Trump phone call with the Secretary of State of Georgia to find votes, and the rest of the callers, I cannot get to you. I will be taking calls tomorrow, assuming that all goes well. And there are some topics that I want to touch on tomorrow. Olympia, Washington, the homelessness communists that I talked about in Hake News, and Reynosa, Mexico, that I talked about in Hake News yesterday. It's a border city. Wow. All kinds of insanity going on. And Adam Kinzinger, man, that guy, well, he's a total rhino and a mess. And he's like my age. Well, was a senior when I was a freshman in high school. Anyway, guys, thehakereport.com for my stuff, jesseleepeterson.com for Jesse Lee Peterson's stuff. Rebuildingtheman.com/church has the church podcasts and videos and blog post write-ups, and throwback Sunday services, and a place that you can sign up and for mailing list and donate. And also the silent prayer is listed down on there if you scroll down on the church page for the Bond website. All right? Take care, guys.
Wow.